What's up guys, Lucid Daily here with another video, and I know I promised you guys the Tesla fundamentals sheet breakdown, and I promised that I've been working on it today. I'm just not quite done with the entire spreadsheet yet, but I do want to tell you guys there are some really important things that we will be talking about. Fingers crossed tomorrow I get it done, and that way I can discuss some of the things that I've learned and found with you guys. Some of it is good things, and some of it are things that I think investors should definitely know about when it comes to the fundamentals and how Lucid is spending their money, how much money they're making per car, the profit per car, things like that. So we'll definitely take a look at all of that tomorrow. But today I kind of want to talk about a couple of things, mainly two things. One, the market's getting absolutely obliterated right now. In Lucid, I mean, any kind of small cap is getting hurt even worse. And Lucid right now is technically a smaller cap of the larger caps, if you know what I mean. They're not like this mega cap company like Tesla, Apple, Amazon, Google, but they are, I think they're 24 billion, 22 billion right now. So keep that in mind that they are smaller in terms of billions and not hundreds of billions. And they are actually, from what I saw, Gary Black posted a tweet today that in terms of EV market cap, they have the #2 spot, which I thought was super interesting. We've seen a lot of EV companies really suffer. Rivian reported earnings today. I have not gone through their earnings transcript. I've been pretty slammed today. But I'm going to go through their earnings. Hopefully I'll be able to do a spreadsheet. If not, I'll at least go through their earnings call. I'll make a video on it on my main channel. I'll link to it here if you guys are interested. I may even post on it here if you guys want. But anyways, the other thing was the story that broke by Reuters this afternoon. And it's big, bold headline. It says, Lucid CEO concerned about chip supplies from China due to COVID-19. Now, it's a really small article. It's 4 or 5 paragraphs. And here's the quote. Peter Rawlinson says, my biggest concern probably is semiconductors from China and the impact of COVID in that part of the world. That's literally it. It does sound like that was iterated on the earnings call, but it does sound like that is something that is actually, that may present itself in Q3 that wasn't necessarily planned for in Q4 or Q4 of last year or Q1 of this year, the big impact of that. So, I mean, hopefully they were accounting for that in this last week's earnings call and they don't have to revise down, because that was one of the biggest surprises, that they did not revise down their estimate from 12 to 14,000 cars. Rivian did not revise down either. So they're holding their ground. So things must be getting better. Hopefully the situation in China doesn't change anything. And yeah, I mean, let's go over Lucid's share price really quick. But in terms of news, that was pretty much it. They are ramping in Europe, and a lot of people are really confused why they're trying to ramp in Europe and then also in Saudi Arabia, while they still don't have things going 100% in the United States. I think that'll be just fine. I think opening studios isn't that big of a deal, and obviously opening the factory in Saudi Arabia, we heard that it was coming soon. We don't have any dates on that yet, but I'll definitely keep you guys posted, so if you guys want to stay posted, consider subscribing. All right, guys. Lucid got hammered today. They were down. Their share price is $13.86 a share. They were down 13% today. That really stinks. I know a lot of people have a lot of money invested into Lucid. And I've been transparent. I have more money in Tesla than I do Lucid, just because I do think that it is, right now, I will get a better return on my money. That's a whole separate video. But anyways, Lucid's at $13.86 a share. That's tough. I mean, that's the lowest. Today we hit 52-week lows, I believe. Yeah, it looks like it. And 13% down, $2.09 today. We were up at 1.73% in the after hours, so there wasn't really any news that I was aware of in the after hours. I think the markets were just kind of rebounding after this terrible day that we had. CPI data obviously came out. We were a little above where we should have been. We were a little above expectations, but that's mainly due to airlines. They had the biggest impact, I believe. And what's tricky about airlines is the more that gas and oil cost, obviously the airlines have to raise their airfares because the airplane fuel has to cost the airlines more. So but energy, food and energy were excluded from the core CPI data just because they're too volatile, especially with the war and things like that. They decided to exclude them, but airlines were still included. So keep that in mind. We probably would have been at expectations had airlines been either excluded or not weighted as heavy. I don't know. Either way, it was not that big of a miss, but the fact is we're still barely plateauing on inflation. We need to start to see that trajectory turn down. That's what we really, really got to see for this market to respond. We're starting to see, I don't know how much further. I don't know where the bottom is for Lucid, honestly. It can go to zero. Technically speaking, any company can go to zero. I don't think Lucid will, The other catalyst that I need to do some more research on is when the lockup expiry ends for when the PIF releases their 13F, the Saudi Arabia PIF. I don't think they'll dump their shares. I'd be really shocked if they did. I mean, I don't see any like unless they've been selling throughout the week, or like they would have had to start selling May 4th. But the whole market's kind of followed that trajectory. There's not one like big drop off. Like when Elon sells his shares in Tesla, you can see like a pretty distinct drop off, and everybody's like tweeting like, whoa, did Elon just sell? And there's back and forth, but it usually raises an eyebrow. There's not one specific cliff when it comes to Lucid stock, unless they've been slowly selling off the last couple of days, which they may have done a risk off. I would not be surprised. It would surprise me that they did it. But if like this is the time that they would do it if they ever did do it, I believe. With Lucid opening a factory in Saudi Arabia and them having like such long-term promises together, I really don't think that Lucid. I really don't think that Lucid has anything to worry about with the PIF selling. I could be totally wrong. I may not know. They did not bring it up at all in their earnings call. Is everything from what I read in the earnings call, you guys read it with me. Everything's on the up and up with Saudi Arabia. Everything looks good to go. But you never know. People change when markets change like this, and companies change, and investing changes. Everything changes when the crap hits the fan. So just stay on your toes when it comes to Lucid. Again, super excited for Lucid's long-term potential, but they are definitely going to suffer in the short term, from what I believe. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing if you want Lucid information on a daily basis. And like always, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.